So, did the fire mess with your flow?
Excuse me?
Did the fire mess up your rhythm?
No. No. It was just, safety precaution. Everybody got to stay safe. It was funny because middle of the game, I turned around like a whole session was cleared out, and I'm like, I saw the what's it called, the fire guys, and I thought something crazy. I mean, it was something crazy, but I thought like, probably somebody was sick or something. But then I started sneezing, and I'm like, there's something in the air, and then that's when they were like, oh, it was a fire or whatever. But I'm glad everybody's safe though, so.
How did you keep yourself occupied during the break?
I went back, literally did my whole pregame routine all over again. And I went back, got a stretch in, took my jersey off, changed basically just my whole pregame, routine before we go out on the court. So I kind of did that just to get myself, stay locked in and game ready.
Have you been I guess you've been in some weird games this season, but have you been in a game like that before?
No, I don't think I've been in any game like that in my whole life, where we had to go in the locker room and come back, play 4 minutes before halftime. And then it was like halftime, we sat outside, we sat on the court. It was crazy. I've never been in a game like that.
Was that tough to get things ramped up again? I know you mentioned you did your pregame routine again, but how tough is it to sort of stop and then have to restart?
Yeah, it's not normal. It's not something that happens often. So I'm sure it wasn't just me. Guys were kind of had to get their rhythm back to the game and whatnot. So, but eventually, we handled business. That's the most important thing. We didn't slack. It was a little bit, here and there. But once we got our rhythm back, I thought, we did a good job of putting them away and handling business.
Do you ever look back at last season and you're 0 for 1 from three-point range and think what happened there and how far you come?
It wasn't what happened there. It was just opportunity. I'm in a situation where I put a lot of work in, obviously on all parts of my game, and my teammates and my coaching staff, they definitely, told me whenever I'm free, I gotta shoot the ball. It was actually the first shot. I turned down one of them today. It was one of them, the first one I should have taken. I think Freddie had drove, kicked to the corner, to the wing, turned it down. And it was a timeout, and literally 3 guys on the bench are you got to shoot that. You have to. This was before I made any of my threes, and I came out the timeout, and I'm okay, all right, I'm going to shoot it, and then the rest happened.
What's it like having those guys saying, you got to shoot that?
No, it's a lot of confidence, it's a lot of trust for those guys to actually just say, you got to take those shots. I know a lot of, it gives the player a different type of confidence to actually take those shots. You're not thinking about anything else. You're just in rhythm. You feel good about the shots. Everyone else, in the gym, your teammates, coaching staff, they feel good about the shots. It's just, it's all it is just, your teammates just having that trust in you, honestly.
You guys have dealt with so much stuff this year, circumstances so far out of your control in terms of empty arenas and tonight and all that stuff, and the guys that were here before you with Tampa. Does it give you confidence knowing that whatever is thrown your way that you guys can overcome and deal with that stuff? Yeah,
I think so. I remember when we came out after the break, it was guys were oh, we have them. Some guys on the other team are we haven't played. They haven't played in an empty gym, whatever. And we're we've been playing this type of situation for half the season basically. So we kind of used to it and want a different vibe for us, just because we're so used to it because we played most of our games beginning of the season with no fans. So it was just nothing crazy.
One question for you online. Go ahead, Christos.
A Precious, great game, great win. What type of challenge for you guys was to keep the same mindset, the same pace on your game after a long break in the second quarter?
I mean, we understand, we just have to come out there, play with the same intensity. It's not necessarily about that game, but just the games moving forward. We understand how important the games are moving forward. So we just have to, develop that type of intensity and just keep it going for those games because we understand the value of those games and how it could affect us come play of time.